Coach, how do you dissect this game tonight? Because it felt like, for a lot of the game, you were doing a lot of things right defensively, maybe not finding the back of the net. I know you talked about playing a patient game, kind of similar to the Islanders style of play. Did you feel like maybe at times your team was a little too patient?
Yeah, I didn't think we played fast enough offensively. I thought we really allowed them to stay in their structure, which they're very good at. I thought our power play kind of didn't, obviously you want to score on your power play, but you also want to gain some momentum off of it. I didn't think we got much going on our power play. It's 0-0 going in the third. Although we had some great chances in the third period before they made it 1-0, and we just couldn't capitalize. And it was really it was a tight game in a lot of ways, not much going on both sides of it, and they took advantage of their chances.
Next question comes from Larry Brooks with the New York Post. Larry, go ahead.
David, on your second goal, what was the confusion in picking up Martin? Did your guys think they had too many men, or do you know what happened on that play?
I mean, it was a 1-on-4, and we just did not play it well, Larry. Clutterbuck's in the corner, and we vacate the middle, and our back checker stops back checking, and I mean, sometimes, I think we had 4-on-2, and I think everybody assumed somebody else was going to do something, and it just it was a poor read. It was a poor read, and just unfortunate. Obviously when Clutterbuck takes that puck down the right wing, you just let him go. You hold the middle, and let everybody get set, and it just there was just confusion in general. It looked like, because I thought that we had too many guys that had a chance to do something, and nobody did anything, and that was certainly put the game in a tough position when you give up two at that juncture of the game, the way the game was unfolding.
Next question comes from Colin Stevenson with Newsday. Colin, go ahead.
Dave, when Varlamov made that stop on Pinar and then, a couple minutes later makes a stop on Mika, do you think, is it as simple as say that he's the main reason that you guys weren't able to score tonight, as opposed to anything that you guys did or didn't do?
I mean, obviously when a goalie throws a shutout, he's a big reason why it happens, but I thought they defended well. I thought they stayed in their structure for most of the night, and we just didn't get inside enough. We just, I thought in the third we started doing some of the things we were going to have to do in order to create some chances, and we had some great chances. Those two jump out at me. Capos jumps out at me. Botetos jumps out at me. And we had our best grade A chances in the third period, but, against that team, you're going to have to generate more grade A's than that. So, it's just, when your top players get the chances we have, usually they're burying them, and, Varlamov's a great goalie, and we've had a hard time solving them.
Next question comes from Vince Mercogliano. Vince, go ahead.
David, when you guys have lost, you've talked a lot about, managing the puck and making too many high-risk plays. It didn't seem like there was a lot of that tonight, but you also talked about not playing fast enough offensively. So what's kind of the balance you're looking for here?
Yeah, again, I thought we did a pretty good job managing the puck, but, I just think to our, when we had to get pucks behind them, I thought their goalie handled it way too often, and that's usually a result of the fact that you don't have people coming to the puck through the neutral zone to chip to space, giving your, they do a good job. They got people above you, so you're going to have people coming over to help the guy with the puck, and I thought too often we left them a little bit of an island, which allowed them to kind of counter us and come out of their end a little too easily.
Next question comes from Molly Walker with the New York Post. Molly, go ahead.
You touched on it a little bit already, David, but the game was neck and neck through nearly 50 minutes. Do you take positives out of that, or are you more focused on how they let it get away from them at the end there?
Probably a little bit of both. I think there are good things to draw from tonight, but there are things we're going to have to learn from as well. So, the good news is we get to play in another 48 hours.
Next question comes from Mark Rosenman with Sports Talk New York. Mark, go ahead.
Hey, Coach, historically, when you guys play the Islanders, it seems that somewhere along the line, their fourth line, Cizikas, Clutterbuck, and Martin always have some impact on the game. What is it about that line that makes them so effective?
Well, they have an impact on the game in every game they play, just because, listen, these guys, they're no-nonsense players. They play a straight-line game. In a game that's getting less physical, they bring an element of physicality to the game, shift in and shift out. And those players are few and far between this day and age. So, they have an element that a lot of teams don't have, and that line certainly brings an element that influences the game night in, night out.
Next question comes from Rick Carpinello with The Athletic. Carpy, go ahead.
Do you sense Mika's frustration?
Yeah, you can see it in his face, and you can see it in general.
And final question comes from Michelle Gingras. Michelle, go ahead.
All right, I tried this with Mika, and obviously it was not probably the best night to ask this question, but solid night from the face-off circle. So if there is one positive, you guys were 61%. I know that's something that you've worked on in practice. Was it nice to see yourselves having some success from the face-off circle?
Yeah, it is. Now we have to sustain it, and obviously you're not going to go 61% all the time, but to be in the battles the way we were, I thought our centermen certainly were bearing down a little bit more. I thought our flanks were doing a much better job. So overall, a much better night on the face-off circle.